All right, boom, squeeze the neck. Team Underground today. Are we Elephant and Castle? Does this come under Elephant and Castle? Ish.
Yeah, ish,
I came through
sort of.
Elephant and Castle, so we're close enough. With my new mate, David Aiyeola. Nice one, mate. Daniel Aiyeola.
Yes.
I've practiced so much on the surname that we messed up the first name.
You get it.
Daniel
That's right,
Aiyeola.
man. A lot of people get one.
Yeah, good. I appreciate you doing this, mate. As I said, we started speaking on the old Instagram recently.
Yeah.
And you invited me, Dan, to talk to you today. We've got a fight coming up, which we get into.
Yeah.
We spoke just before we started on this. We was talking about you started MMA quite late.
Yeah.
Started as a kickboxer, all that jazz. But before we get into all that, let's go back even further. Let's talk about where you're from originally, mate.
So originally, I was born here in South London, in St Thomas Hospital, Stockwell.
Good man.
But I wasn't necessarily raised here. So when I was about 2, I moved to Walthamstow, East London, and
Wrong side of the river. Carry on.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Opinions, innit? Opinions. But yeah, man. Since then, I kind of say I was born and raised in Walthamstow because I don't really remember living in South anyway. So yeah, originally Walthamstow. Went to school in Chingford, which is right next to Walthamstow as well. So I'm pretty much an East boy my whole life.
We
Man.
started off well this podcast, didn't it? We started the right side of the river, the whole deal.
Yeah,
But before that, obviously, you said you started MMA like in your 20s, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
What was you doing before that? What's your background?
So before that, in terms of sport, I used to play a bit of football. Didn't get anywhere further than Sunday League, but to be fair, the team I played for, Ridgeway Rovers, for the ones that know, Harry Kane played for them. David
I was going to
Beckham
say, I've
played
heard
for
of them,
Yeah. So I was at that team. It was a decent team. Then I kind of stopped playing football around 16.
What position were we playing? What were we talking?
Mate, like I don't even want to sound like I'm just saying this. Like anywhere down the middle, like literally anywhere down the middle. But
Put me in, coach. I'll play anywhere.
Yeah, I'll play anywhere, innit? But my main positions, like Sunday League, I was more of like a striker, centre attacking mid. When I played for like school or anything else, I kind of prefer to play like defensive mid, centre defensive mid or centre back. So like I've played literally that whole middle centre of the pitch. I've played every one of those positions. But my preference, I kind of like playing centre mid though, controlling the middle. But yeah, I stopped playing football around 16, 17. Started just like gym, normal stuff. And what I thought I was going to do before was music, because my older brother does music. So from young, I've always been into that, always like in the studio making songs and stuff. So from that period of stopping, when I stopped doing football till I started fighting, I was in the studio. So if I was just working, going studio, making songs, releasing them where I can, doing freestyles here and there.
Oh, are you going to do like you're going to sing for us
no,
now?
No. Maybe next time. But yeah, man. Music was what I thought my career would have been until I found fighting, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Like well, you said football, like you said you only got to Sunday League football, but like when you was younger, was that? I mean, we're English, right? Everyone's been footballer, but like was that like on the on the radar sort of thing? Was that something you thought you'd be?
Yeah, like to a certain extent, I thought, you know what, if I step by step I can get up the rankings, get up there, like get to a good team. Like I had the passion for it. Like I was going training every week, I was playing every weekend, so it's something that I enjoyed. But you know, football's quite oversaturated in England, so it's like if you ain't got an agent or you ain't like the best and stand out, like you.
Mate, how many people you know that you play with that were so fun and they never got anywhere? They
Yeah,
never got
exactly.
nowhere. Like the levels are unbelievable.
Exactly.
I actually played in a game. I played for a team called Molesey.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of them. I played for the under 18s. They was like. So, I don't know what it'd be called now, someone might help me out, but they was like, if you got the conference, I think it's called the National League now, they was like 2 or 3 leagues down from that. Like, you know, you're playing a little ground and you think you're Billy Big Ball, it's like one of them kind of. Anyway, but I played against a guy called Mikel Antonio, do you know this guy? He plays for West Ham.
Oh, yeah.
He's my age, right? So I'm exposing my age, but I think he's a bit older than me, but never mind. But like, we played on the same team, but the point, and the reason I say it is because I think we drew 1-1, he's playing for Tooting Mitcham. If I'm getting this wrong, someone correct me who knows who was in the game. I don't remember him at all, but the reason I bring it up is because like, he didn't stand out or anything, do you know what I mean? So it's like, now he's like a Premier League player, he's done I think he's played international football for Jamaica and stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, it's mental.
It must be like, it's the connects, like people have certain connects and links and they just get themselves put in those positions.
That's it, man. And like, as I say, like the other end of that is I played with players that were like, you look at them and you go, wow, and they never made, they never got anywhere. So it is anyway. But anyways, back to your music and stuff like that. So when you start music, what's the ambition with that? Are you like, I'm going to be a man?
Obviously, like I said, my brother does music. So it's like, I kind of had like, I used to go to his shows and I used to go studio with him, whatnot. So I kind of had like a clear path or vision of like, you know what, I can actually do this. Like someone like in my family is doing it.
What sort of music we talking?
He was doing like rap. He's quite versatile. So rap, Afro beats, like singing. Like he done quite a lot.
I got you.
And then I kind of followed suit with that, and I was quite versatile with the music I made. But like I said, he set the wave where I thought, yeah, man, I could actually, like, if he can do it, I can do it. Especially because I kind of got that help in hand. He's already got his foot in the game. Like, he can put me in certain directions where I won't have to put in as much.
Is this your older brother, you said, as well?
It's my older brother, yeah.
So perfect, right.
Exactly, yeah. So he can kind of lead me the way. So yeah, at the time, I kind of, I thought that was it. And then what it was for me is that I had my brother doing it. I had friends that are doing it. I'd been to shows, I've been to concerts. It's like there was nothing more a rapper's lifestyle there was nothing more I could experience of a rapper's lifestyle like that I hadn't already been through, apart from making it more personalized for me, like my show and my stuff. That I've been in a lot of rooms, met a lot of people, so like there wasn't really much need for me to pursue that career. Like if I wanted to go and be around rappers, I could just tag along with my brother and still get that same, like, you know what I mean? If I like, I still get the same groupie love that he gets just from being around him. So like I thought, you know what, and with music, it's like you put in a lot of money like for studio music videos, and when you're not getting the money back or the recognition back, it's very like demotivating to keep on going studios, keep on paying your money, doing this video, paying for this car, this model, all of that. It kind of paying for the cameraman, it kind of takes it out of you. So I thought, like, you know what, is it really worth me putting my effort into it when I'm not getting that much out of it? Like, you know what I mean? And music's something that you can always do. So I thought, let me focus on something that I could kind of do now that I can't necessarily do when I'm older. And fighting kind of was at the front of my mind. I was like, I can fight now. I can't fight when I can't start fighting when I'm 30. Like, do you know what I mean? So let me just try put not all my eggs, but let me just try focus on fighting, see where this goes. If it don't work, I could be 30 and go to the studio, make music again. But yeah, I kind of just transitioned. That's how my transition kind of went into MMA.
That's
or
mad.
kickboxing.
But why fighting? Do you know what I mean? Like fighting, because fighting is the sort of thing you either do from young, right?
Well,
like, or you don't do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're like, who at 26, or how old was you? 24, 25?
23, yeah. 24.
So yeah, it's like...
it's weird, innit? People think that, innit? Because it's like, yeah, usually you're in a gym from young, or your dad or something puts you into fighting. Like, what it was for me, I've always been a fan of fighting, like the art of fighting. And then that period where I was going through that mind frame was like during COVID. So because nothing was going on apart from like UFC, I was watching a lot of UFC content through that 2 years. So I think that just charged me up to think like, you know what, let me try. Like I was going to the park with a couple of my friends, like trying through techniques here and there. And I told myself, listen, when COVID ends and the gym opens, I'll get myself down to a gym and just see how it feels, actually throwing punches, throwing kicks. Obviously I started with kickboxing. So started off with kickboxing, and I think just training, man, is just what made me fall in love with it. Like before that I was doing gym, and I was kind of like, I just wanted to get in good shape, and like that kickboxing kind of fast tracked that good shape, and then it's like I fast tracked the good shape, then it's like I'm learning techniques that I never knew before, and like these are techniques I've been watching for the past 2 years as well, and it's like I can do this as well. And slowly over time I was like, you know what, I can actually do all these things that I've been like inspired by through UFC, whatever. So let me just keep trying, keep practicing, got better at sparring, got better at hitting pads, and then from then it just, yeah, man.
That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, like, and did you start here?
No, I started at a gym called Fusion Kickboxing.
Okay.
That's in Chingford, near Walthamstow, East
okay.
London. But yeah, I started there for a year. And yeah, man, whilst I was there, I signed up for Ultra MMA. And that's what made me...
UWC, is it?
Yeah.
Ultra White Collar?
Yeah. But for the MMA one.
Yeah.
That's what kind of made me go from kickboxing to MMA. Once I'd done an Ultra MMA fight, I was like, bruv, forget kickboxing. I'm doing grappling, punching, kicks, submissions, everything.
And what was the kick? Was you have fights kickboxing, or did you get into MMA straight away?
No
basically.
Fights, straight MMA,
I got you. And from like, how did you get here? How did you end up here? Is what I'm trying to say.
So my cousin, Reese Aiyeola, he's a fighter as well. Before I even started training, I'd been to a couple of his fights. So one of his first fights during lockdown fight series. Funny enough, Team Underground was fighting on that card. A lot of the guys were fighting, but I didn't know any of them. I even took a picture of my cousin and the head coach, Steve, at the time. And I didn't know anyone. And then he joined the gym. From after that fight, I think he joined the gym. So then when I started doing MMA, he was like to me, you know what, come down to Team Underground. Obviously he's already met the people. He already put my name out to the coach and that. So then I just came down, and it was like, these lot just took me in like one of their own. So,
So like you starting, like obviously we mentioned that you're starting late. Like did you have a talent for it? Do you know what I mean? Was you good straight away? Coach is over there, so he might beg to differ.
You know what, coach kind of saw me when I'd already had my Ultra MMA fight.
He's shaking his head. Why is the coach shaking his head?
No, I think naturally, thank God, naturally I've got long limbs, long arms. So I've kind of got the structure. as long as I put my mind to it and learned the techniques, I kind of got gifted with, you know what I mean, the rangy fighter,
Yeah,
especially because I started off as a striker kickboxing. So naturally, it was kind of easier for me to be good at certain things, striking anyway. So I do feel, and I feel like I'm a fast learner. So I picked up a lot of things quite fast. And then like I was training like consistently through the week. So I just managed to go from like 0 to 100 quite quick.
That's cool, isn't it? Like, so how tall are you?
I'm about 6'2". Yeah,
6'2", and you fight a welterweight, obviously, right? Would you walk around that? Or is that a secret? That's one of them, yo.
Because this is coming up before the fight.
We cut that out, we keep that to ourselves. But like, you seem like the right build for welterweights. What I'm getting at.
I'm not too heavy. Like I walk around fair. Like I don't walk around heavier like some guys walk around.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, like when I've met you today, right? I look at you and I go, yeah, he probably fights a welterweight. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's the right thing for, because like some guys I've met, like I've done quite a few at GB Top Team of these, and like. Wesley Meyer, I nearly call him Damien Meyer. Yeah. Wesley Meyer fights a bantamweight. I don't know if you're aware of who he is. You know,
one of our guys beat him. Bro.
Did he? Oh, mate. We'll cut that out as well. Fuck me. So, but yeah, shout out Wesley, friend of the podcast. Yeah, he's I grabbed hold of him. Like he's a tank, like for his size, and he's fought a flyweight as well. I think I'm looking at him going like.
Some of these guys, they walk around so heavier than their weight. But me, I think I prefer to walk around closer to my weight, man.
Yeah.
Like
pros and cons, isn't there? I think there's pros and cons. But I think different body types make a difference too. Exactly, like your body.
I'm quite lean.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like some guys can like. Wesley's a great example. He's jacked, and they say like guys that are very heavily muscled can lose it easier because it's water.
Holds a lot of
you know what I mean? So like, not that I'm a fucking nutritionist, guys. I'm trying to be like clever over here. But like, when you go to sort of like you came here and whatever, have you already made the decision like you want a career in fighting at this point? Or
So from when I've joined Team Underground, like I'll be honest, from when I done my Ultra MMA fight, and I told myself I'm joining an MMA gym, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see how far I can take this. Because my Ultra MMA was a KO first round, so it was like
hello.
From then I was just like, man, I was like, you know what, I need to try this shit, man, see how far I can take it. So I did. I set in my head like, I'm gonna take some amateur fights, as many as I can, and then just go pro, man, and just see how it goes.
And what's the plan now? Like you're 3-0. Well,
3-0.
This is coming up, so we're gonna put our hands together and say 4-0. But like, how many fights are you looking before you go? Now it's time.
Do you know what? Before I kind of used to put like a number on it. But I feel like when the time's right, man, like I might have 3 more amateur fights, and then a crazy offer comes through for a first pro fight, and like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm just kind of gonna feel it out. My goal was by next year to be looking at pro ranks. So this year maybe just get as many amateur fights as I can out of 2025, and then 2026 look at just going straight for pro, man.
Because what's like different people got different opinions. Some people only like 2 fights a year. Some people go, I want 6 fights. Like how many fights in a year is good for you?
Like last year I only had 1, man.
Right,
and
the whole year.
I was kind of upset about that. So I'd like to get like at least 3 fights, man.
Is that right?
3 fights in at least, That would be nice for me. But to be honest, I feel like on the amateur scene, where we're not pros yet, as many as you can. Right. Like, if you can fight like every other week, as long as you're not injured, you're fit, I feel like just get the experience in. So if I can have the opportunity to fight as much as I can, injury-free, whatever, nothing else going on, then I'm going to take as many.
Especially when you haven't got like a background coming from boxing or something, right? Yeah, some guys have got like 50 amateur boxing matches right before they transition over. So they've got experience, like combat experience. And just getting under the lights, you know yourself. When you're in that change room, sometimes you go like. You start to question what you're doing, don't you? You go, fucking hell, man.
You wanna like. The one thing I always say to people, you wanna use the toilet in every way. You wanna pee. You wanna number 1, number 2. You wanna vomit. You wanna.
Mate, I was the professional at taking a piss before a fight. If I'm sitting in the change room, if I ain't had 12 pisses, there's something's wrong.
Yeah, trust me, bruv. Like the amount of times I went to the toilet. My last fight, I went to the toilet about 5 times in like 10 minutes. Like nothing even came out.
Yeah, I know. You're just standing there.
You need to like. Oh man, but so like that's what I want to use the amateur to get as much as. Like, it's the competitive side. Like, obviously you can spar, you can get experience training and that. But yeah, like you said, being under the lights is a different thing. Like, you can be the best striker, best grappler, but can you perform on fight night? That's what I want to build up, that fight night. Obviously, you can never get rid of fight night nerves, but you can learn how to deal with them better, and that comes through experience. So.
And what's like, obviously, I know you're predominantly striker, you said, but like, do you use things like Jiu Jitsu tournaments to go to get competition experience? Or
there's like grappling, or training at wrestling gym. So like, there's a gym we go to, 10th Planet. They're quite heavily
London. Shout out the boys. I train them myself. I'll be there Saturday.
So they're quite heavily. Obviously, they're heavily grappling. So also you get into
great
clubs.
Guys too. Very welcoming. People.
They're welcoming. They're quite kind to us when we go there. So obviously we have grappling into clubs and stuff like tournaments, jiu-jitsu comps and that. They help build up like the nerve, like those nerves. Like because I'm coming from striking as well. Them nerves of grappling as well and jiu-jitsu and that, sometimes you want to be in a like competition like environment to get that off. Rather, I don't want to be on fighting night testing my jiu-jitsu.
Nah,
like,
probably not. Nah.
Yeah, do you get me?
Seeing if De La Riva works.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'd rather like, you get me? So yeah, those things definitely help. Those work.
That's cool, isn't it? Yeah. Like, do you wear the gi ever or not?
Nah. You know, I haven't got into gi yet.
Oh, you haven't? You've upset some people.
Yeah, sorry guys, I haven't put on a gi yet, man. So.
But that's good. I mean, there was a guy, I was at a grading, I don't know who the guy is, so it's not like I'm exposing him, but I was at a grading and he got his purple belt and he said, like, listen, this is the first time I've ever wore a gi.
Yeah.
Ever. He was never fight, you know, so like, purple belt, one time in the gi, but shout out that guy, I don't know your name. He's, so if we look at like your training and stuff, because one thing that's always like all over the map with, especially MMA fighters, not so much specific martial artists, but like MMA, strength and conditioning, different types of this, different types of that. It's all over the fucking map, isn't it? Like, what's a typical week look like for you?
So you have like here we do quite a range of classes. Usually we mix it with like we have our MMA we have like MMA, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu our main like split classes. Right. So our MMA we're covering like our cage control, our striking, our wrestling, whatnot. Then we have our like specific wrestling classes where we're just doing our wrestling drills, reversals, get-ups, takedown defense, whatnot. Then our just jiu-jitsu specific classes, we have them split no gi and gi. So through the week, like usually how it works, we have an MMA in the morning, in the evening we'll have a jiu-jitsu class and then a striking class after that. Right. And that's pretty much like how the schedule goes from
twice a day you train?
Monday to Friday. Then if not, the days, obviously I work and that, so there's days that if I can't train, I'm in the gym doing my strength and conditioning as well. We do our strength and conditioning pretty much after every, like you saw we're doing a little bit at the end, but
I did see that. And by the way, I can help you with that Frank Bruno thing to get up. We'll go through that in the end. I wanted to jump in, but I thought, stay in your lane.
Let them do it, that Frank Bruno. So we do a bit of that quite pretty much every day. And then if not, I'm in the gym doing my strength and conditioning, trying to get some, this camp especially, trying to get, work on a lot of my explosiveness. Right. So I've been doing some hill sprints and stuff like that. So a lot of kettlebell exercises.
I got you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, man, that's pretty much like basic, typical routine MMA schedule,
And obviously, like, well, you haven't turned pro yet, so like amateur fighters, I'm assuming you just take whenever they come. But
yeah.
Do you are you at the stage where you have a camp yet or something like that, or is it more just not so much?
One of my coach Steve, he told us quite a while back, like, you know, amateur, you're never really in camp. Like, you're just constantly.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You're constantly just training, and a fight can come next week. They might say to you, listen, we've had a pull out next week. Can you turn up? So it's more of a thing where, we dial in. Like when you get your poster and you get your date, like you lock in mentally, like it's more like
poster comes. And
when the poster comes, you're like, yo, listen, 6 weeks out, we're going, innit? Yeah. But apart from that, like.
But you're training year round.
You're training year round, like with when you got your fight, when you got an opponent, you look at their style, so you can kind of cater your training a bit more like to their style or your game plan. So. Like I said, when the poster comes, you can kind of adjust your training a bit more to like a specific camp. But besides that, we're just always going. Working. Always going.
That should be anyway.
Really, man. Even with pro, man. Like,
do you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a lifestyle.
Right, you get a camp and whatnot, but like I can't understand. You know, you see like some of these guys in like UFC guys, and they're out of camp. They say, and they're out of shape. I don't understand. How you get 2 stone overweight and you're not training? You don't want it bad enough to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you up to? You should be.
I think it's more of a lifestyle. Like you want to constantly be training and be eating well, being fit.
I think so. Yeah, but then at the same time, I guess if you're in the UFC and you're getting paid a couple of million a fight,
you want to take a holiday, and you
might want to go. You got a few different options, haven't you? But, you know, it is what it is. But like when you're sort of getting ready for a fight, obviously the 6 weeks is a bit different, right? Do you stick with the same sort of program and just sort of up it a bit, or is it train drastically?
It's more like stick with the same program and then like kind of up the intensity. That's what it is. It's more up the intensity. Focus a bit more on my like diet. I'm guessing like this fight, I'm fighting at 82, it's a catch weight. Okay. So
fuck, it's a big difference, isn't it?
A big difference, to 77. But when I'm fighting at 77, obviously I'm more wary of like, you know what? Let me try like cut out some of the main things that I need to cut out from early, and then increase the intensity of my working out, and pretty much keep the same routine. Yeah. Just cater it to my opponent and game plan.
Even now you're game planning, because when you turn pro, obviously it's a bit different. Like especially like we mentioned it, like UFC, you're getting paid a couple of mil a fight and all that business. You know you're fighting, give or take, pullouts happen, but you kind of know what's coming, don't you? So you can train. Like if you're fighting a heavy wrestler, like I don't know, a Khabib style,
you're gonna know
versus Wonderboy Tom. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit, but like in amateur, is it more just like you're still just sharpening the skills and getting better, right?
You still like obviously like my last fight, I had no footage of my opponent. Like the one I fought in November. So it's like with amateurs, like you're gonna get those times where you might not even know who you're fighting. You might not know what his style is, whatever. So it's even a blessing when you get to know their style or even get to see your opponent. But yeah, I try to use it. Like I try to use it, but not as much because I know people can improve, people can change. Like people can go 6 weeks, they're just straight grappling. There was a striker, 6 weeks grappling, they come into the fight and they're taking you down. So it's like I try not to focus too much on, at this stage at amateur, too much on what my opponent's doing, because I know at this stage everyone can improve a lot fast as well. And I just try to like more focus on like improving and adding to my game and adding intensity to my game. But yeah, man, with my current guy, I know he's from what it looks like, he's a bit of a striker. So I know what game plan to work. I don't want to say too much, but I know what
double leg and chill, is it?
Yo, you know, I'm not gonna say too much. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I try to use what I can from.
That's cool.
From
yeah,
previous.
I think that's cool. But it's also people I think overthink, don't they? Like sometimes you listen to people, they go, "I got to do this," and it's like, "Whoa, you might as well. Maybe you should chill out and just think about having a fight." You know what I mean? Versus
that's the thing.
Over analysis nonsense.
You got to find a balance of like, and that's why I'd advise people to kind of like just focus on working on your game, because as long as you're improving your game and being the best version of you, it don't really matter what style he has. Like you can just bring your style and implement your game and impose your power on him. So that's what I did. That's the balance you have to try to find. But like I said, man, it's a blessing to be able to even have footage or know the opponent's style. But just go in there and just do your best, man. Just fight. It's a fight at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So.
And where is the fight? This one coming?
This one's in Wolves, fighting on Golden Ticket Fight Promotions. Yeah, Wolves near Birmingham.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton,
yeah. Jesus Christ! So you're out and about already.
Out and about, man.
Out and about.
To be fair, I've never even fought in London. I fought.
Have you not?
Yeah, Brighton. I fought Brighton, Essex, and yeah, now there's going to be Wolves. I fought in Kingston actually. That was my Ultra MMA. That was in Kingston.
Kingston. Where was that
at? Prison.
Oh,
Prison. They did just.
If you're old enough, that's Oceanas. But there you go.
Yeah.
You was probably too young for that. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I heard that. I heard people say
it was
that
Oceanas. Yeah, Oceanas was a lovely place. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But like, if we step forward, mate, like obviously you've clearly said you got ambitions of being a pro and stuff like that. Like, I think for people that are sort of 12, 14 getting into it, they'll automatically go, yeah, I want to be UFC, blah, blah. Where you're, not that you're old, but 26, you're a grown man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? Does your ambition change, or have you got like a set goal where you want to be?
In terms of like, do I have a set goal, like now where I want to take the career, or like?
Yeah. As in, if we sit here in 15 years' time and we go like, what do you want to have achieved, sort of thing? Go, like, say it. Be bold.
I want to make money, man. No, obviously, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, when I started training and I started like learning new techniques and seeing like, bro, I can do this, like, and testing myself, I kind of want to see how far I can go. Like, I just want to kind of test myself against the best guys.
Right.
So I can look back and be like whether I'll be sitting with my kids or my friends and be like, look, at this time I fought the best in the world in this country, and look how I went up against him, or like, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, the belts will come with fighting the best, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the gold itself. It's more like, because sometimes the best aren't always holding the gold. Like the champion isn't always the best in the division at the time. Like, it's just like how timing works out, or this person's injured and whatnot. So I just kind of want to test and see how far I can take my skill sets, my body, and like wherever that puts me. If that puts me at the top of the world with 2 belts around my waist, then yeah, man, I'll take it. But yeah, it's more so like just pushing myself. What limit can I take my human body to? Like, what can I actually push myself to do and achieve?
That's interesting, yeah.
And with MMA, it's like you're using every kind of, like, your legs, your arms, your grappling, you're doing all of it. So yeah, man, that's kind of my goal in terms of, and then it's like with that knowledge, I want to be able to pass that on as well and teach. Go into teaching and maybe build my own school and stuff like that. Because it's more, I feel like MMA teaches you more than just fighting as well. It teaches you a lot about yourself as a man or woman or whatever. It just teaches you about your, like, teach you about your heart, man, what you're made of. So there's a lot of lessons you can pass on besides punching and kicking in MMA, and I want to be able to pass that on as well. That's
cool, man. I like that. And you touched on it a little bit earlier, but like when you say like who you are as a man and whatnot, like we've all seen different personalities in change rooms. You know, that moment before, you know, 5 minutes.
Yeah, then you see who's
you see who's who. Like, what are you like in the change room? What's your sort of personality get to?
You know what? Like, I'm quite. It can be seen. It can be interpreted as like maybe I'm nervous. Well, everyone's nervous, isn't it? Yeah, I can't even say that. Everyone's nervous, but I get a bit quiet. But it's not because I'm it's more like me just dialing in. Like I just get quite quiet. I get quite like focused. Like I don't really want to take pictures. I don't really want to speak to no one.
No.
I don't necessarily want to like. I don't even want to talk about the fight. I just want to just focus, and then when fight comes, we'll get the fight done, and after we can have all our conversations. But yeah, I kind of like get a bit like in my own bubble. But that works for me. Like some people need to be able to speak to people and like reach out and like have conversations, take their mind off it. Me, it's like I like zoning in, and it like some of my people they get worried thinking like, oh, like, are you stressing? I'm not stressing. It's just that's how I deal with like going to war, like just calming everything down, the calm before the storm, as they say.
Yeah, that's interesting because you hear different people. Some people are putting the music on and dancing and all kinds of shit.
I can't do that. I can't. If I had music on, that would start. No, like I probably could, but I'd prefer not to.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone, man. Let me be quiet and just be in my thoughts.
Yeah, I got you. Because like with your training, obviously at Team Underground now, but like, do you go around training? Do you travel the world and do you go to Thailand and do things like that?
Not yet, but we have our head coach Steve Cook. He's in Thailand at the moment. And,
whereabouts?
Koh Samui.
Okay.
So he's been there for I think a year now. And he's been telling me to come out there. Obviously, like with work, I'm just trying to like find the right time to go out there. So maybe after this fight, I'm looking to go out to Thailand. But as of now, I haven't travelled anywhere, any other gym apart from this gym. I went to. You know what I didn't tell you? Before I joined this gym, I actually trained at BKK.
Okay.
So I lived in Essex for 6 months.
Where's BKK?
In Chelmsford.
Okay.
So that's like
far out east now.
Yeah. You got Arnold Allen in that gym. I don't know if you know Jack Mason. That's who runs. Jack Mason, he's the one that runs that gym.
Not personally, but yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
So I actually started off at that gym before I came to Team Underground.
That's cool.
I left that one out. But that's only because I lived in Essex for 6 months and I done my Ultra MMA and I was thinking, cool, I need to find an MMA gym. And yeah, like Chelmsford was close. So yeah, man, just went there. So the only gym I've trained outside of Team Underground, like after joining Team Underground, is BKK. We went there like couple years ago now. We went back up there with a couple boys and just done some sparring. Like I said, we went to 10th Planet. We've done some rounds there. Apart from that, yeah, man, I haven't actually branched out to much gyms.
But that's cool. I mean, the only reason I ask is because like when I've been especially countries, different places, they got different vibes, obviously, but like different countries, there's like a different, I don't know how to put it. It's like mentality.
Different
I don't know.
energy,
Energy might be a good way to put it. You go in there and there's like there is a different energy. Like when I've been in the States and stuff versus like Thailand and whatnot, and over here, you definitely pick up on personalities. I think of people, and I think it's cool to sort of experience, even if you don't necessarily take so much from it, like in a technical point of view. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
so
just
I think
to see the different training
just to feel it and see it, because some of it, like, don't get me wrong, not mentioning bad gyms or anything, because they're not bad gyms, but like certain places I've been to, you know, where you go and you kind of go like, that ain't for me. This just ain't for me. Like I've been to places, certain spots in different countries, and I'll plan on training twice a day for 2 weeks and whatever. And I get there and like I train for a few days, and then I'm a bit like, it's just not for me. Then I'll end up like trying to do sort of like some privates and like pick some people to like, and like instead of it being like a crazy train, it's a bit more like I'll try and pick up what I can. Do you know what I'm saying? Versus the whole, because that's the reason I originally brought it up. I'm sorry, I'm jumping about a bit, but it's like you hear about Leon Edwards, right? He went to, I think it was AKA in the States. And like AKA is obviously a massive mad gym and stuff. And he went there and he was gonna, his idea, and if I'm butchering it, someone help me. But he was talking like how he went there and planned on like locking himself in the gym. He's gonna do it. But he realised after a little while, he was like,
that's not for him.
It's just not for me. He stayed in Birmingham and fucking become world champion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You got to kind of find your gym, and that's what it was like when I came to Underground. It's like I said, coming from BKK, I trained at Club KO when I was doing my Ultra MMA. So I'd been at a few gyms, and when I came here, it's like I just knew like this gym's for me. Like even though it's not the closest, like it takes me an hour and a half to get here.
Does it? Okay.
But it's like it's still like I thought like, you know what, this is the one for me. This is where I can excel, and I feel like that's what you need to do, man. You don't have to force it and go to this gym and that gym. Just find a place that you got the right partners, you got the right coaches, you can excel, you feel like you're excelling at a good rate, and then, yeah, man, stick at it, bro.
Because that's an interesting point. You know, like there used to be a bit of an old school mentality of like, get out of your comfort zone and go and do. Whereas I think there's elements of that, right? But at the same time, it's like you said, you come here and you know this is for you.
Yeah,
like that's got to count too, innit?
Yeah, you got to kind of know, like you have to know yourself as well. Like obviously, there's going to be people with more experience, and they can lead you in the right direction. But the best experience is going to be your experience, because you're going to know what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, man, I'd say that's the best thing to do is just try it out yourself, and just like, yeah, man, everyone's got a gym for themselves, and Team Underground happened to be mine.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's mad that, because like I go to a lot of gyms, obviously, not just training, but with the podcast and stuff now, and like there's a good energy about gyms now more than there used to be. Not that I'm trying to sound like a dinosaur, but I'm 34 now. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you go in gyms back in the day, and it'd be like fuck this place. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like I've never been here before, I haven't trained here, but I come in today, I come straight downstairs, I watch you lot finishing up your session, and there's a buzz about the place, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. It's not like a fucking like who are you?
You might go to a gym, you walk in and you're thinking,
exactly.
How should I even be here?
There you go, exactly. Do you know what I mean? But it's good vibes. So shout out Team Underground. But we'll get to that maybe at the end. But like, tell us, like, are you a fan of MMA? Because it always amazes me. Like I speak to so many people, and it's always one way or the other. And I've mentioned this before on here. It's like people either do exactly what you just did. Yeah, I fucking love it. Or people go, nah, I never watch fights.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of MMA. Like I said, it was during like, do you know what? It's even before COVID that I started off with the game. I'll tell you the truth. I started off playing the game. I was thinking, this is sick.
What are we talking, PS what?
PS4.
PS4.
But,
see, this makes me old. I started on PS2, but carry on.
Oh,
please.
yeah. See, like, I started playing UFC 3, playing the game, thinking this game is sick. Obviously, at that point, we hadn't had a fighting game for, well, apart from UFC, there wasn't really no good fighting games in my opinion.
Shit, they was tough because they was like the controls, and it was like bad. Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? So UFC came out, I was thinking this game's sick.
People have played FIFA instead, wouldn't they? Because it was more fun.
Exactly,
like,
yeah. Started playing that, it was fun. I started watching it. And I was just like, man, I just fell in love with it, bruv. And then like that was right before COVID. So then it was like I was watching it every week. Like I couldn't stop rewatching highlights, watching old fights. At that point, I had to catch up on a lot of old fights because I was a new UFC fan. So like all the fights pre-2017, I had to catch up on a lot. Like I'd seen a few, but I wanted to catch up on the storylines.
Well, you had a lot to get back. You got in at the right time because you had a whole library of fucking stuff.
I had a lot, and then it was like a perfect time because so much happened after that as well. Like a lot of big things happened around that 2017, 2018 period as well. So it's like, yeah, man, I'm definitely a big fan of. I'm watching it all the time, man. That's the only thing I can.
Is that right? Yeah. Because as we're filming this, there's a big one at the weekend coming in there. Pereira versus Ankalaev and Gaethje versus Fiziev, I think is his name.
That one's going to be a good one,
which is a short notice one. I'm taking it you're going to watch that, right?
Yeah,
because here's an interesting one. What's your routine for the fight nights? Because if you're staying up from in this country, you're dead.
It's a myth.
Like, you got to get up. I get up at 4.
You know, a lot of the times, not as much anymore, but a lot of the times I was doing night work, doors. So you know what, I'll be on a door.
Home, perfect.
And yeah, by the time I'm finishing at 3 o'clock, main card's just starting. So I'm going home, watching the main card. Like it used to work out perfectly. Or even when it's in like the Saudi cards, like I'm there.
Saudi cards are good, yeah.
I'm at the door at like 11:10, just sitting there watching
Abu Dhabi, all that, they're right at times, isn't it?
So man, I'm my routine, apart from that though, I can't lie, most of the time, unless there's really exciting cards on the prelims, I try to get a little nap in before the main event. Then when the main event comes, got all my snacks and that, and I just try to stay awake. I usually fall asleep by the main event. I can't even lie to you.
Mate, you've got to plan it. You've got to go to bed at 8, get up at 4, and you're fresh start of the day. You're ready to go.
I try, but then do you know what happens? I end up like, do you know when I fall asleep? Right at the walkout.
Yeah, of course you do.
I'm watching the walkout, everyone, the second person's walking out, and then I'll open my eyes again in like round 3 or round 2, or when the fight's finished, and I'm thinking, nah. I missed it, but...
do you know what I did back in the day? Like Conor McGregor fought Nate Diaz, the second one. So it was like a big build-up and whatnot. Like I was at a mate's house, there was a few of us sitting there watching it, and it was getting to that like 3-4 fights from the finish, and everyone's like that. And like, I went around just turning the lights off, everyone was, he's fucking doing it. I was like, mate, let's have a nap, and I'll set the alarm for an hour and a half, and we watch it. Like, it wasn't even my fucking house, do you know what I mean? But I like imposed the nap.
You have to be done,
You have to, yeah. I wasn't going to miss that fight. I wasn't going to miss that fight for nothing. But good times anyway. You know who you were if you were there. But like going forward, like with the Ankalaev fight and the Pereira, I keep talking about Pereira on here, but what do you think? Has he got a chance, Ankalaev?
I'd say he's got a chance like Pereira's hittable until he gets into that flow state. You don't want him to get into that flow state. That's when he looks unstoppable. But he's very hittable, and like Ankalaev does have power. But if I'm honest, I think Pereira's got it, man. I think Pereira's got it, to be fair. Like if he tries to, I don't think Camp Pereira's silly enough. I think the IQ is good enough to know that they need to work on the wrestling when they're coming up against Ankalaev. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as Ankalaev coming out there, striking a bit and going for a takedown. I feel like they're going to be wise to that and understand that this guy has got grappling behind him. So I think it's going to be a closer fight than like obviously the Khalil fight. He's going to have a better chance than Khalil did, being able to mix up with the grappling. But still, man, I think Pereira's stand-up's just like, it's just too good, man. I feel like he's going to put him.
I think so, man. And I think also two things there. Like I think his chin at light heavyweight is bang on.
Yeah,
I think he got chinned by Izzy because it was like
middleweight, man.
The weight drain, man. Like that's got to play a part in it. Not that that's a knock on Izzy, but like if they
man,
fought at 205, I don't think that goes well for Izzy, right?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But like also the wrestling, there's a reason we ain't seen him put on his back and beat up.
Exactly. Yeah. People. It's not like people haven't tried to engage in.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
People have tried to engage in grappling. Like Jan tried to engage in grappling in his first 205 fight. So it's not like he hasn't. But he's training with a good gym as well with Glover. Like that's a good. Those are good. And I know he's training with big guys. Like you see on his Instagram and stuff. So I doubt. I know it's not going to be easy to take him down. If it was that easy, people would have been doing it.
People would have done it. That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like we'd have seen it, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Do you get me? And he does well with his striking to like prevent you from getting close enough to even be confident to take you down. So it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be a good fight. But I could say it's going to be a good fight, and then Alex does him in the first. Like we don't know what's going to happen.
Do you know what? When you're saying that, like I was thinking, my pick. If you put a gun to my head and said who's going to win this fight, I go Alex Pereira first round left hook knockout.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like Alex does it, man. I feel like Alex does it. And to be fair, I don't think it's going to take five rounds for him to get him out of there.
No.
Like, do you know what I mean? I think he can put a lot of work. Like we saw what Jan done to Ankalaev, and like from the third round he was quite damaged. So I feel like if Alex gets the same opportunity to land those strikes, I don't think he's going to last in there.
Special guy, ain't he, Alex? I think this is his time. People have little runs, don't they? Where it's like very hard to beat.
Like, he's perfect. He's got the momentum. He's on a perfect track right now, man.
Yeah, I think so. But also the reason I'm a big fan of Alex is because of the size of his body. It's realistic for him to go up another weight.
Yeah, heavyweight.
Go for the third belt, which is nuts. But like, crazy, do you see him doing it, or would you like to see him do it?
I think like honestly, realistically, I don't think he's going to.
Really, you don't? Do you not think that money's too big?
I think if he was going to go heavyweight, I think he'd go boxing.
Okay.
Like, you see when they said like
he's talking about fighting Usyk.
Yeah, because I see Usyk saying about how if he's to fight anyone, he wants to do one more big fight and then one like entertainment fight.
I don't want to see that because it don't go well, does it? Like if you can't kick him and stuff, like Usyk gonna box your head off.
Yeah, it's not the same, but I don't know, man. It depends what happens with Aspinall, John Jones, and that. Like, I feel like those guys are making it a bit slow. Like, if that was a bit more clear cut, what's happening with them, we could say, okay, John Jones, Aspinall, this is happening. Next, we got Alex going in. But where everything's up in the air, it's kind of hard to tell what Alex is going to do next. But there's not really much more for him to do. Like, if he gets rid of Ankalaev, there's not really anyone else.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like we're going to do it like heavy.
So I'm assuming, like, let's say he just cleans them out. I think go heavyweight, man. Go fuck it, man. Whilst you can just take it. Yeah,
because he's getting up there in age. He's late 30s,
like
isn't he?
37 or something.
So it's like, But the interesting thing as well, I think him and John Jones are like about 3 weeks apart in age. They're like the same age. So it's
that'll be a good matchup for them, both
I want to, mate, I tell you what I want to see. I want to see John Jones fight Aspinall and Pereira before he's done. But like, I've got different opinions and I go back and forth on who I think is going to win. But like, what do you think about Aspinall, John Jones?
Aspinall, John Jones, I'm split as well because I'm split on a thing.
Well, firstly, does it happen? Do you think it happens? Oh no, don't do this to me, bro. Don't do this to me.
Well, I just see something. I think yesterday I see Dana White saying John Jones returning in summer.
Okay, that's a good sign. International Fight Week, the big one.
That's a good sign. But I don't know, man. Hopefully it does happen. I think, with that news, I think maybe it is looking like it will happen. How I see that fight is like, I see like when I think Tom Aspinall is going to win, I'm looking at more that young, speed, power, fresh. When I think John Jones is going to win, I'm thinking the experience and the IQ. John Jones knows Tom Aspinall's younger, fresher. So the way he's going to the way he's going to game plan and take the fight, he's not going to put himself in positions where Tom Aspinall can use his strengths against him. John Jones is a smart fighter, man. As well as that, man, we saw Tom Aspinall's knee go. John Jones knows Tom Aspinall's knee. You think he's not going to use those obliques? He's going to use those obliques to his advantage, knowing that when that Curtis Blades fight, Aspinall's knee went, so he might use that. Like, I know John Jones is a smart fighter, so
he's had it fixed since then, though, isn't he? He's had surgeries and all that.
He's had it sorted out, and he's had fights since then as well. So.
And he just looks good, doesn't he, man? Like, I tell you, here's the reason I'm being interested in this fight. Like, every time I watch one of them fight, I go, he's going to win. He's going to win. But every time you watch John Jones fight, and you can say what you want about Stipe, but when you see him fight, you go, yo, no one's ever going to beat this motherfucker. Like, look how good he is.
Like, when I watched that Stipe fight, like, he showed his levels, like this is John Jones.
He's class, isn't he? I think he's got that mental thing as well.
He can lock in. I think that's what it is, man. It's that IQ. But Tom Aspinall, man, he is that fresh, young, like, he's got it. He has got it right
He's got
now.
it.
He's definitely got it where it takes. So it's a hard one. I think it will be a good fight. I think this would be the fight that we do see Tom tested. This is where we would actually see him tested. Yeah, he got, I think he got clipped in that Pavlovich fight. Yeah. But that's not necessarily, like, heavyweight, everyone gets clipped.
And John Jones ain't a one-punch knockout puncher anyway, so he can get away with that, can't he?
Yeah, he's gonna like break you down. He's gonna test you in areas where Tom hasn't been tested.
That's why I'm interested to see Pereira fight Tom Aspinall as well.
Yeah,
because if he chinned him with that one, you go, ooh.
Yo, if you give Pereira the chance to chin you clean,
could be a bad night. Could you imagine if he beat both of them, Pereira, and he was heavyweight champion? He got 3 belts.
I can't He would be like, I'd call him the GOAT.
I think you got to at that point. What the fuck are you going to say at that point?
He come into MMA at what age? Cleaned up an old rival. won title in both things and then gone to heavyweight and done that, yeah, man, he'd have to be the GOAT.
Even fighting for it, I mean, puts him in the conversation, even if he loses, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing with the Aspinall one, I've spoke to guys that was like a black belt under Aspinall's dad, and like obviously they're probably biased, right? Shout out, you know you are, but they're like sort of saying like, ain't even a fight. Tom Aspinall's going to run him over, and I'm like,
nah, he's not going to run it. That's
I think. If he does get him, it's early, right? I think if this goes past a round and a half, say, now I know I'm oversimplifying it and there's a lot more to it, but like, if this goes past a round and a half, I would sway way more to John Jones.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen Tom. We haven't seen Tom go after over 2 rounds or a round and a half. So yeah, it's true. We haven't against someone that skilled as well in the later rounds. It will be a tough one.
I could see this fight going. You know, like if as we get into the rhythm and John Jones starts to dominate. You know, about a round and a half or 2 rounds deep, you go. Course. This is John Jones.
Yeah, everyone started realising, oh, Tom's the younger guy.
Exactly.
This guy's, I think
how dare we have even questioned it?
I think that's how it would go as well, if it was to go past that early stage.
But I could see Tom running him over as well, man. Like, he's so fucking good. Like, you watch his fights when he comes out like a storm. And he's a big boy, isn't he? Like, I think they said, he's 6'5".
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think if Tom was to run through him, he'd have to, like you said, get him early and not let him off the hook, because I feel like John Jones will recover as
get
well.
Him done. Get him
if
sorted.
He gets him, he has to get him there and then. Like, once he sees him hurt, there and then it has to be fit. If not, when Jones recovers, and then the thing with Jones, he will recover and then understand that you can hurt him, and then from then his whole game style is going to change, and he's not going to give you the opportunity to hurt him like that again. And like it's like that in a Reyes fight. I feel like once he got hurt by Reyes, it's like he kind of changed how, like, he was still getting clipped a lot in that fight, but he kind of changed it so it's like he was a lot open before that point compared to how he was after. He was a lot more cautious, but that goes down to his experience and his IQ.
Yeah, and I think he's one of them you've got to put to sleep to finish him.
You've got to put him to sleep.
Do you remember like the clip? I saw it today actually on Instagram. The clip of Vitor getting him in the armbar, and he's armed, and he ain't tapping, man. He ain't giving it.
Even that Gustafsson fight, like his face is all like beat up. Like he will be there to the end, man. You would have to finish him to get him out of there.
And good luck with that. Good luck finishing John Jones.
Yeah, man.
But that's I'm interested in that fight, and I've got to see him before they're all retired.
Yeah,
like,
man,
please
one,
let us see these. But we said it, we touched it already. You kind of said it. But Pereira this weekend.
Yeah. Pereira this weekend. I'm good. I'm going for Pereira, man. I'm nice. And even with the Gaethje fight, I feel like I was watching the highlights again. I feel like Fiziev being in there with Gaethje again before. I feel like he has a better chance now. Mm-hmm. I feel like the first time he just kind of went in there a bit like kind of fuck it, like let's go, like let's crash me and Gaethje. But now I feel like he's had that. How did it go? I think it was it 3 rounds?
Yeah.
I think so. He's had that 15 minutes. He can be a bit more technical because Fiziev is so technical, man. That guy's striking so clean. And I feel like if you're with someone like Gaethje, man, all you have to do is kind of be patient and don't fall into his game. Mm-hmm. Once you fall into his game, then like he's used to playing that brawl firefight game. So.
And he's also coming off. I know it's a while, but a vicious fucking knockout. Like that can change it, can't it? That's to be face planted like that.
Yeah, that was proper, man. That was a proper knockout.
And also, it's not just a knockout. He was getting bashed up a bit before that, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, and I think he's getting on as well a bit. And he's late 30s.
Yeah, 35.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a bit older. Yeah, he might be, but still a lot of miles.
And lightweight as well. Like, you know what I mean? They're at a tough division, so. But Fiziev, I can see Fiziev doing that one, getting that one done as well. He hasn't been out there for a while, but yeah, man, he's one of my favourite fighters to watch. Yeah. Man.
And I think the wear down as well from Gaethje in the gym, because from what I've been out to America, like where he trains, I've not trained with him, I've never met him or anything like that. But I was when I trained at the gym. I just by chance, the Uber driver that took me to the fucking airport was like a training partner of his.
Okay, yeah.
And he said, like, chatting away, we were sort of sharing stories of like we trained at the same gym but we didn't cross paths sort of thing, and we was having a laugh and whatnot. We was talking about different fighters that train, and one of them was Gaethje, and I said, like, what's he like sparring? Like he said, well, he don't fucking spar, he fights. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he fights. Like there's no sparring. It's like if you're gonna spar, you're gonna try and take you out.
That definitely has effect on longevity.
It's got to, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's got to, because I think especially as you get older, it's the niggles that catch you.
Yeah,
do you know
the
what
small
I mean?
one, yeah.
It's not the age thing as in like you're an old man, because there's so much we can do now health-wise, but like
it's the small things you can't recover as quick.
And if you don't recover from them, do you know what I mean? If you're back in the gym banging it out again, like that's got to catch you, innit, going forward.
Gonna add on,
Exactly, but like there's I could see that fight going either way. I probably agree with you that Fiziev might get him, but he's favourite as well, which is quite strange.
Well, Fiziev,
even though he lost last time, and it's short notice, but who knows? But this is what it is, right? We'll see it goes. But mate, listen, I appreciate you. This has been great. Before we finish up, shout out your fight date, mate, and location, all that stuff.
Yes, guys, I'm going to be fighting 29th of March, Golden Ticket Fight Promotions. Shout me on my Instagram, the Lastborn 170. You can get a ticket. Prices I'll let you know. They'll be all on my page, or you can DM me. I can send you the information. Shout out to my team, Team Underground, my teammates, coaches, Adar, Steve, Zuhair, all my teammates. We're gonna smash it, man. 4-0. Let's get it.
Bosh. So what I'll do is in the link, I'll tag you and I'll put the Team Underground. Is it Golden Ticket Promotion? I'll put all the stuff in the description and stuff. This will go out as a bonus coming out quick because we're filming this quite close to your fight. So rather than leave it till it comes out, we'll do it. But before we finish up, mate, most important question I'll ask you. This determines whether we stay friends or not. Which football team you support?
You know what? I don't actually watch
Chelsea,
football.
very good. Well done, my guy. Top man.
I don't watch football, but I'm not even going to... Now you said Chelsea, I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, good man. I do. Cut.
Yeah.
But nice, mate. As I say, I really appreciate you,
Yes, man.
I always finish with a fist up like this. Squeeze the neck. Boom.
Whoosh.